Today, I'm going to show you how to make garlic-infused olive oil. You and your child can make this while you're doing the FODMAPs elimination diet. Hi, I'm Betsy Yelmgren from Feed to Succeed, where we help children meet their physical, emotional, and developmental milestones by adjusting food and diet to address multiple different health diagnoses. I created Flourishing with FODMAPs, and I help parents and kids get control of IBS. IBS is a frustrating diagnosis. It's made after other serious GI diseases have been ruled out, but GI problems like gas, bloating, diarrhea, and constipation still persist. The Low-FODMAPs diet is a short-term dietary intervention used to get the GI symptoms under control by limiting the intake of foods that contain a lot of fermentable carbohydrates. Today we're going to be making garlic-infused olive oil. I often hear from parents and kids that the hardest part of sticking to a low-FODMAPs diet is knowing what to eat and missing favorite foods. Certainly having preferred foods available and correctly modified to be low in FODMAPs makes it a lot easier to follow any restricted diet. Be sure to stick around until the end, where I'll show you 3 low FODMAPs recipes using garlic-infused olive oil. So, to begin, you're going to need fresh garlic and olive oil and a glass or plastic jar or bottle that you can close tightly. I also have here a large knife and a wooden cutting board. So I'm simply going to begin with 2 cloves of garlic. There's 1. And there's 2. So I have 2 cloves of garlic. And I'm going to take the paper off of them, peel them. So I have both of them ready to go. Paper is peeled. I still have my knife handy. Next thing I'm going to do is measure my olive oil. For this recipe, I use 2 cloves of garlic for every 1 cup, 8 ounces of olive oil. So I'm just going to measure my 8 ounces of olive oil. Okay, and then using the flat side of the knife on a cutting board, I'm going to take the palm, the heel of my hand, and smash the clove of garlic. 1, 2, and that's going to let the juice out, and that juice is going to give flavor. Now, FODMAPs from garlic actually come from the pulp, so we don't want to actually eat the pulp, but the flavor is okay. So I'm going to put these juicy smashed garlic cloves into my jar and seal it tightly. Give it a little shake. And really that's it. That's the end of this recipe. And it doesn't seem like much, but because it's just olive oil and garlic, it can sit out for a couple weeks. It doesn't have to be refrigerated. The longer it sits, the more flavor will infuse into the oil. So usually I'm going to let this sit at least 24 hours before the first use of it. And you might think, well, what am I going to do? So what about that oil? The nice thing, since this is low in FODMAPs, we're not going to use the garlic. We're going to measure just the flavored oil out of here. And this can make a ton of really great recipes. You can start with this in a skillet and brown some meat to make some tacos that have that nice garlicky flavor without any garlic pulp in them. You can do the same idea with the oil. You can put it in a skillet, and I'm going to show you another recipe at another time, making some ginger chicken stir fry, and the garlic flavored oil is right there as the base. Or I could even use this if I was steaming some vegetables, put a little light sprinkle of salt, put a little drizzle of my olive oil on there, and that's going to add a lot of flavor. And one of the things I hear about the low FODMAP diet is it's kind of boring. It doesn't have a lot of flavor because we're limiting garlic and onion, but this is a really handy, easy way to get some flavor back into our recipes. So this is a base recipe that I suggest making at the beginning of the low FODMAPs diet and having it handy throughout the 2 to 6 weeks so you can use it as you're cooking. And if this runs low, I'm going to just make myself another batch. Thanks for joining us, and stick around for more low FODMAPs recipe tips. Download more meal plans with lunch ideas and recipes at feedtosucceed.com/FODMAP-recipes.